remember you way up there, like way up there. And it was like, I'm shifting gears. I look down at 37 and I look at, and I'm like, seriously, like from what I remember, there's my dad, critter's going, whatever. I look down 1001, 1000, I'm up and chaos. Like literally, I mean, how long does it take you to look down? I'm not looking, the GoPros are off, you know, which I kind of wish was on, but we're not running any cameras. So there's no distractions. You know, there's no, I mean, we literally just pulled out. I mean, this happened 300 yards down the road out of Giant Loop. I mean, we literally just pulled out.
Yeah, there's one photo, and you know, you're welcome to share it, that Brian took from camp at Giant Loop.
Yeah, I've seen it.
People off in the distance up on the roadway where there was an accident scene.
Yep.
You know, they didn't know why, but it was completely visible from camp.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was just right there, and it makes no sense. It was like you were up there, 37, chaos.
Jeez.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it's really interesting to hear all this happening before I even regained consciousness. But it sounds to me, it sounds, I'm trying to figure out, was I truly unconscious? Because I was totally blacked out with nothing, and until I realized the EMT were working on me. But from what I'm hearing, people were talking to me and asking questions.
Yeah, I would say, at least from my perspective, and Chris chime in too, but I probably arrived 5 to 7 minutes after, maybe 7 minutes after impact. And you were on the side of the road, sitting up, having a conversation with the gal, completely alert. And that's why then I passed you on and went to him, because he wasn't necessarily being treated. And so I'm like, okay, what happened? And just watching you over there having a conversation, completely alert,
Well,
eyes open.
it's really, of course, I got a pretty significant concussion out of this whole thing. And so that I talked to the doctor, you know, they scanned my brain and everything. And I talked to the doctor. I said, how come I don't have any memory? Prior to even hitting the pavement, why don't I have any memories? It's totally normal.
Yeah.
Oh,
which is a good thing, really. I think, you know, in hindsight, I think that our bodies do that to protect us. And it's probably good that you don't have that memory. Like, unfortunately, I think Chris seeing it in the mirror, those are demons that take time to overcome. But sometimes when you're the person, not having that is a good thing.
Yeah, I think that's, I think if I were alert, I would have been bracing and tightening my body up, which is probably not good. You need to be flexible when you're hitting. So, I still believe, I can't believe the miracle of not getting hurt, other than my old brain, no loss.
You've got some road rash on your back and your legs.
Well, yeah, I did, down on my left back and down my leg, but other than that, yeah. So anyhow, just what it makes, what's this fascinating for me to hear what everybody else was experiencing before I even came to, makes me think of the time my buddy Don and I were up climbing Denali, and it was 11 o'clock at night. Of course, it's daylight. 11 o'clock at night, 30 below zero, and Don decides to try to go die on me, and so. There were three of us. So our friend Sid stayed with him while I took off to get help.
On the most dangerous part of the mountain.
Yeah. And so a year or two later, I was given a presentation to some Boy Scouts, and I recounted my experience. He was on the ground unconscious, but I recounted my experience by myself in the middle of the night, crossing snow bridges and trying to go get help. And he said, man, I had no idea. That was quite a story. So I'm kind of soaking that kind of stuff up here right now. But so I guess I'm off to the hospital, and they scanned me from hips to head a couple of times. And like one doctor came in to see me, and she says, yeah, I'm out looking at your chart, getting ready to come in, talk to you. And she said, I looked at this, and here's this 74-year-old guy. And she said, what the hell is a 74-year-old guy doing riding motorcycles? So she walked by the nurse's station, came around through the curtains and looked at me, and she went, oh, well, you're not the typical 74-year-old guy after all. So that was kind of nice to hear. But so I'm fine. They took my beloved Climb Kodiak pants off and wound up throwing them in the garbage because they were trashed.
Well, I think, sorry to interrupt, because I know we're going here, but why don't we back up a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, because I think we're kind of jumping over a couple things.
Because I think clothing and protective gear is all a topic of its own.